Welcome to EPG Pathshala. This module Box-Jansky methodology is an extension of the previous module, that is Introduction to Stationary Time Series and Introduction to Non-Stationary Time Series. In Introduction to Stationary Time Series, we discuss what is stationarity, and in non-stationary time series we discuss how to detect non-stationary time series and the methods that are used to detect non-stationarity. In this module we discuss how to fit the model and how model is used to forecast. Let's start. A mathematical model is designed to forecast and analyze time series data with a standard statistical model like autoregressive moving average and autoregressive integrated moving average. This mathematical model was designed in 1970 by two developers, George Box and William Jenkins, who proposed in their book Time Series Analysis, Forecasting and Control to identify, estimate, forecast, and diagnose a standard statistical model for a specific and particular time series data. The mathematical model is defined in the textbook as Box-Jenkin methodology because it is developed by two mathematicians, Box and Jenkin. Box-Jenkin method is a widely used process to find out the best model for time series data. Box-Jenkin method is based on the assumption that time series process can be approximated by ARMA stochastic time series model if the given time series is stationarity. Also, time series can be approximated by ARIMA stochastic time series model if the given time series is non-stationary. Box-Jenkin method is a three-stage method aimed at selecting a parsimonious ARMA and ARIMA model for the purpose of estimating and forecasting a univariate time series. Box-Jenkin method, referred as stochastic and iterative process to select a standard statistical model. The three stages are identification, parameter estimation, diagnostic checking. If the identified model passes the diagnostic test, then model is ready to go for forecasting. If it does not, the diagnostic test indicate model ought to be modified and a new cycle of identification and diagnostic is performed. It will continue till identified model pass diagnostic test. It is a iterative process. Now begin with the first step, that is identification. Identification step is used to check if the given data is either stationary or non-stationary time series and to find order of parameter for autoregressive and moving average term. According to this, identification are classified into two classes. First is to check whether time series either stationary or non-stationary. Identify the parameters of the standard stochastic time series, that is ARMA and ARIMA. There are many techniques available in the literature to remove non-stationary factor. Some of the techniques were discussed in the module Introduction to Non-Stationary Time Series Model. Now let us discuss it again for better understanding. To check whether time series is either stationary or non-stationary, if time series is stationary, next step is to identify the parameters of the standard statistical ARMA model. If the time series is non-stationary, convert into stationary series or remove the non-stationarity factor. If particular time series data show deterministic trend, it can be removed by least trend method. If particular time series shows seasonal variation in the data, it can be removed by method of seasonal difference. If particular time series shows periodic variation in the data, it can be removed by the method of moving average. One of the most used method to transform non-stationary to stationary is differencing or unit root test. In unit root test, one takes the difference of the process until difference process becomes stationary. Identify the parameters of the standard stochastic time series model. Once stationarity has been addressed, the next step is to identify the order of parameter of autoregressive and moving average term. The order of parameter can be identified by corollagram of autocorrelation function and partial autocorrelation function. Mostly time series data is non-stationary in real life data, so ARMA is mostly used to fit time series model. An ARIMA with order P, D and Q is completely identified by the choice of non-negative integer value for the parameter P, D and Q. Parameter value P can be found by ACF, that is autocorrelation function, and PACF, that is partial autocorrelation function. PAC, PACF values cut off to 0 after some spike of corollagram. ACF decreases exponentially towards 0. This cutoff lag value is the order of autoregressive term, that is P. Parameter value Q can be found by autocorrelation function and partial autocorrelation function. ACF values cut off to 0 after some spike of corollagram. PACF decreases exponentially towards 0. This cutoff lag value is the order of moving average term, that is Q. Parameter D is the number of time differencing the time series. The following principles can be used to choose the appropriate value of D. A time series can be modeled by stationary ARMA model if the ACF decays rapidly to 0 as lag increases. Second is sample variance can be used to identify D value. Minimum sample variance will address the value of D after differencing. For example, let us consider an example of monthly RPI retail price index time series. ACF decays slowly exponentially to 0 and their sample variances are given as variance of x subscript t is equal to 0.698 and variance of NAPLA xt is equal to 0.597 and NAPLA squared xt is equal to 0.706, where nabla is represents xt minus 1. One can see that sample variance after first difference is minimum, so D would be 1 for this time series. Parameter estimation. After addressing the value of P and Q, next step is to find estimate parameter. There are several methods available in the literature to estimate parameter. Some of them are method of movements, maximum likelihood method and least square method. Least square method is widely used method to estimate parameter because it is simply and easily solved method with easily mathematical calculation apart from biasness. Least square method is used to estimate parameters alpha 1, alpha 2 and so on alpha p and beta 1, beta 2 so on beta q for ARMA p order and q order model. The ARMA p and q order model is given as yt summation where is over I and I vary from 1 to p, alpha I and y subscript t minus I plus error et that is noted by et plus summation is over j j vary from 1 to q beta j e subscript t minus j where et are normally distributed error terms. Note, estimation of parameter using least square method and maximum likelihood method are equal when error term follow normal distribution. It is easy to estimate parameters by hand by using least square method for autoregressive of order 1 and moving average of order 1. When number of parameters are more in number, like we have 30 order, 20 order, 30 order and so on, it is very difficult to estimate parameters for autoregressive 20 and moving average 30 by hand. Similarly, it is also difficult to estimate parameters for ARIMA, that is auto-regressive integrated moving average model. So there is need to use some statistical software to estimate parameter easily or accurately for long run. There are many statistical software easily available for solving time series problem. Some of them are eViews, SAS, Python, R, SPSS, etc. In this module, we use R software or R language that is very useful for fitting parameters and as well as for forecasting. An example will be solved using R that will help you to understand the topic in a clear manner. It will be helpful for you to understand estimation procedure using computer programming in practical scenario because real life data is available for long time span. For example, suppose we have moving average of order 1 process and it is given as P subscript n is equal to En, that is error term, plus beta into En minus 1, that is error is defined as n time period or previous lag, that is n minus 1. Where the errors follow standard normal distribution, we have calculated a sample correlation and found gamma naught hat which is equal to 1 and gamma 1 hat is equal to minus 0.25. Now we are interested in to find out the estimate of the parameter beta. So the solution is given here as autocovariance function are given as which is gamma naught is equal to covariance between PT and PT, and after putting the value of the model we get the value is equal to 1 plus beta square, and the first order autocorrelation, that is gamma 1, using the same formula we get the answer that is equal to beta. So since autocorrelation function is defined as gamma 1 upon gamma naught, so our rho 1 is coming out to be beta upon 1 plus beta square. Equating this with the corresponding sample correlation at lag 1 gives rho 1 is equal to minus 0.25. So that is beta square plus 4 beta plus 1 is equal to 0. Solving the quadratic equation we get beta which is coming out to minus 0.268 or minus 3.732. So we are choosing here beta is equal to minus 0.268 because if we take the value of beta is greater than 1, then our process is not invertible, but we want that our process is invertible, so we are taking the value of beta is equal to minus 0.268. So after taking the value of this beta, our process is invertible. Now next step is diagnostic checking. After identification and estimation of the parameter, next step is to perform diagnostic checking. Diagnostic testing is used to inspect the parsimony ARMA model to the underlying time series process. If the parsimony ARMA of order P, D model is a good approximation to the underlying time series process, the residual process will form a good approximation to a white noise process. If the residual, that is error term, estimation of error term, will not form a good approximation to a white noise process, the process will repeat again. This process will repeat until residual process will be a good approximation of the underlying time series. There are several tests in the literature to diagnose it. Some of them most useful tests are inspection of the graph of residual term to check if residual process is a good approximation to a white noise process. Plot the graph of residual term against T. If this plot should not show any pattern, if the visualization inspection of the graph of the residual show any pattern, these graphs highlight a poor fitting model. This pattern effect is due to average level of the residual or magnitude of the fluctuations about 0. This should be taken to mean so that this ARMA model is inadequate, that there is need to repeat the whole procedure again. Second is inspection of the sample autocorrelation function of residual term. One is very much familiar with them ACF and PACF. These are many. There are many ACF and PCF values corresponding to underlying time series process. If these ACF or PACF values of the sequence of residues are too many outside the range, that is plus minus 2 upon square root of n, one can conclude that fitted motor does not have enough parameter. So respective time series model is not appropriate, and repeat the whole process to get appropriate one. The Box-Jenskin approach involves the following steps. First, calculate the ACF and PACF of the data. Check whether the series is stationarity or not. If the series are stationarity, go to step 3. If not, go to step 2. Take the logarithm and the first difference of the raw data and calculate the ACF and PACF for the first logarithmic difference series. Examines the graph of the ACF and PACF and determine which model would be good starting point. And the fourth is estimate parameters of the model. It means if we have already stationary series, then we have to first then we directly go to step 3 and apply the methods, that is ACF and PCF, and we can check after seeing the values of ACF and PCF that which model is good for you, and then estimate the parameters of the model. After estimating parameter of the model, we can easily use this model for forecasting purpose. For each of these estimated model, check to see if the parameter of the lag is significant. If not, then you probably have too many parameters, and you should decrease the order of P or order of Q. Check the ACF and PCF of the error. If the model has at least enough parameter, then all errors of ACF and PCF will be significant. Check the AIC and BIC together with the adjusted R square of the estimated model to detect which model is the parsimonious one. AIC represents Archaic information criteria and BIC is the Bayesian information criteria. If changes in the original model are needed, then we have to go to step 4 and repeat the process again. Now come to forecasting. One time series process passed through the diagnostic checking, it is ready to go to next step, that is to forecast future values based on the estimated time series model like ARMA and ARIMA. Mostly estimated model will be ARMA model by Box-Jenskin method. Using Box-Jenskin approach, forecasting is relatively straightforward. Fitted an ARMA model to the data where it is represented as Z1, Z2 and Zn. The equation is coming out to be Zn plus 1 is equal to mu, and summation is over I, where I vary from 1 to p alpha I, and Zn plus k minus I minus mu plus error term is over n plus k, and j vary from 1 to q beta 1 E n plus k minus j. The forecast value of Z and at n plus k time period gives all the observation up until time n, known as the k step ahead forecast and denoted as Z subscript n into k or cap. It is obtained from this equation replacing all parameters by their estimated values. Second step is replace the random variable z1, z2, zn by their observed values, that is noted as small z1, z2 and so on zn. Replacing the random variable z with order with subscript n plus 1, n plus 2 and n plus k minus 1 by their forecast value, and it is noted as hat zn1, hat zn2 and so on hat zn k minus 1. Replacing the innovation e1 e2 n by e1 hat e2 hat en hat, replacing the random variable with time period more than n with by their expectation, that is equal to 0. This forecasting is based on the past values and current values, so that it is a good method to forecast. In the following example, we will discuss about forecasting in ARMA process. Example is one step ahead forecast for AR2, that means autoregressive of order 2, and it is given equation is given as hat of xn 1, which is equal to mu hat plus alpha 1 hat xn minus mu hat plus alpha 2 hat xn minus 1 minus mu hat. Two step ahead forecast for AR2 is given as xn hat 2 mu hat plus alpha 1 hat xn hat 1 minus mu plus alpha 2 hat xn minus mu hat. So we have two expressions, and we are using this expression for to step ahead forecasting for the ARIMA model of order 1 to 1 process. Solution is given here as, so first we have to define a variable Zn that is equal to nabla square xn, which is equal to 1 minus b whole square xn. So 1 minus 2b plus b square xn, after taking xn inside the bracket, we will get xn minus 2 xn minus 1 plus xn minus 2. This implies xn is equal to Zn plus 2 xn minus 1 minus xn2. xn plus 2 is equal to 2 xn plus 1 minus xn plus Zn plus 2. This follows that xn hat of order 2 is equal to 2 xn1 minus xn plus Zn2. Hence one can get the desired equation. So this flow chart will help you understand how Box-Jensen method work. In the first node, in the first we can see it, we have tentative identification, and it uh, moves towards estimation, and after that diagnostic checking, and we have to see whether our model is okay. If the model is not okay, then we have to move backward to the tentative identification, and if the model is okay, then we have to use the model for forecasting purpose. So first step is time series plot, that is we have to check plot of ACF and PCF. Then we have to apply the method of least square method to find out the values of the parameters, and after that we have to see residual analysis and forecast. And if our model is fine, then we can go for forecasting purpose, and if the model is not okay, then we move again to the tentative identification and follow the same process again. So in this example we will see that how we use this method of Box-Jensen methodology in our study. Consider an example of tractor sale shared by Power House MIS team to forecast tractor sale for the next 3 years through time series ARIMA model. Solution is given here as, here we are using R programming to forecast tractor sales for the next 3 years. These are the steps to forecast tractor sales. First step is identification. In identification, first check whether the process is either stationary or non-stationary. One can plot the data as time series by using this code in R, and the code is given here as data. First we have to read the CSV file where we store our data, and after that we have to apply this command data ts data and so on. So basically this command is used for to see how our data is. That means we have, let us suppose we have stationary data, we have non-stationary data, we can visualize it through from this command. So from figure 2 we one can see that the data show upward trend for tractor sale, that is time series data of tractors is non-stationary. Now the next step is to transform the time series data into stationary on average by taking first order difference. If after taking first order difference the transform series stationary by testing through unit root test or by plotting it, now then we have to apply further procedure. This code will help you to plot different tractor sale data, that is plot difference data, and the ylab represents the title of the y-axis, difference tractor sale. So this is the plot of difference data to make data stationary on mean, that is we are trying to remove the trend factor. So from figure 3 one can observe that the time series is still not stationary on variance, that is variation in the plot is increasing as one is moving toward to the right of the chart. To make stationary on variance, take log of the tractor sale data add, plot it. So code is given here below. So what we are doing, we are taking log of the data. So figure 4, we see that this represents the log transform data for stationary on variance. Now this graph looks stationary on variance. To make data stationary on mean, take difference of the transform data and plot it. And the code is given here as below. So after taking difference, the figure represents the difference log transform data to make data stationary on both mean and variance. So from figure 5 you can see that there is zigzag, there is no any trend or no any um, correlation between the varies of the previous or the next value. So this graph looks stationary on both mean and variance. This also gives us the clue that uh, I value or indicated value of the ARIMA model will be equal to 1, as after taking first difference and transformation will make this series stationary. So plots of ACF and PCF to identify potential autoregressive and moving average model. After identification of stationarity, find the order of parameter by using ACF and PCF value. For this plot, the ACF and PCF value of the transform data, and which is derived from using this code, and from the figure you can see that the PACF value is 0 at a starting point, and so P is equal to 0 and ACF value decays to 0 after 1 lakh. So we are taking Q is equal to 1 and D is equal to 1. D represents the integrated value or difference value. So we discussed here that while determining the parameter for AR model, we have to see the value of PACF, and for the MA model we have to see the ACF value. As ARMA or ARIMA or combination of AR MA model, so while determining the value of ARMA or ARIMA, both ACF and PCF should be considered together. Using the AIC, that is already discussed, that Akek information criteria and BIC Bayesian information criteria, one can check about the order of ARIMA model as discussed in the module, that is our previous module, that is introduction to non-stationary time series. Now we have to find the estimation of the parameter using these values of P, Q and D that will lead to the best fit of the ARIMA model on the data. So step 2 is estimation the parameter. After guessing P, D and Q value, next step is to estimate the parameters of the model. For that the code is given here as, and the value of the AIC and BIC can be used to determine the value of the parameter for best fit. ARIMA model is fitted to programming R and displayed in figure 1, table 1. Here we are discussing only best parsimonious time series model. So that is, we are taking ARIMA with order 0, 1, 1, 1 and their estimates of coefficients and AIC and BIC value. One can see that there are several models for a time series data and one has to select the best model. In this situation, goodness of fit is not good criteria to select the best model among others. In this situation, to select best model, we have to use AIC and BIC, which is supposed to be the best criteria. AIC value show how much the loss of information occurred while fitting the model on the data, and BIC value show model performance. For the best model, both values of AIC and BIC should be minimum. So from table 1, after fixing the model, that is, we are assuming that ARIMA with order 0, 1, 1 fits our data in a most appropriate manner. So the coefficients value are coming up to be, using moving average is coming out to minus 0.4047, and using simple moving average it is coming out to be minus 0.5529, and the standard error is coming out to be 0.0885 and 0.0734. So AIC value is coming out to be 702.6 and BIC minus 69.17. So we are assuming that after if we are taking this model, then here the AIC and BIC value is coming up to be minimum from all other models. From table 1, one can see that AIC and BIC values are minimum for ARIMA 0, 1, 1, so that ARIMA 0, 1, 1 is a parsimonious model for the given data. So here till the time period we discussed that how to select the model and how to estimate the parameters, and the next step is the diagnostic checking. After estimating parameter and model selection, next step is to inspect it. Here we are using ACF and PCF value for residual process to diagnose it. To diagnose, plot ACF and PCF for residual of ARIMA model and ensures that no more information is outside the range plus minus 2 upon square root of n. So here now we are doing diagnostic check. Since there are no spikes outside the significant zone, that is plus minus 2 upon square root of n and plus 2 upon square root of n, for both ACF and PCF plots, one can conclude that residues are random with no information or juice in them. So there is a good form of white noise process. Hence, ARIMA model is working fine and appropriate model. Now the step 4 is forecasting sale. Now this is the main thing, that after fitting the model on data, our main interest is how we can use this model for forecasting purpose. Once a model has passed through the diagnostic step, now one can use this model for future actions like forecasting future values. Here we are forecasting next 3 years future value by using the R program, which the code is written here as given below. So after applying this code, we get the result as given here. The output with forecast value of tractor sale is in blue. Also the range of expected error, that 2 times standard deviation, is displayed with orange line on either side of the predicted blue line. So you can see, if we want to see the forecasted value, that is represented through blue line, and we also want to see that how much the we want to see that whether the values lies between in some confidence interval or not, that is represented through orange line. So here if we want to use this code, then we have to go for R programming, and one can easily install and use R, and R is open source. So one can download R from the search engine, which is given below here as. In this module, we discuss about Box-Jansky methodology. In Box-Jansky methodology, we have to follow 3 steps. That is, first is identification of the fitting of the model on the parameter, and third one is diagnostic checking. So we already discussed these 3 steps in detail and used an example to see how this method works. Thank you.